Today we're talking about Telesto and Bungie's event, I guess you could call it maybe, or just a meme. Either way. What up, you nerds? My name is Fallout. Take a seat and get comfy. As I mentioned, we'll be talking about the current Telesto situation and the overall community response. Some people have enjoyed it. Some people really have not. Others just kind of temporarily went completely bat. Please make sure and check in that your favorite YouTuber is okay. Today, I'm going to share my thoughts on this whole experience. Was it openly welcomed by the community, and was it a good idea overall by Bungie? But real quick, I got to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. Finding yourself really busy lately? Yeah, me too. But HelloFresh has got you covered. They've got a weekly selection of 30+ recipes and over 70+ convenience items, which can all be delivered right to your door. Every HelloFresh recipe includes ripe, just picked produce that travels from the farm to your front door in under a week. They've also got a line of kid-friendly recipes, perfect for the little picky eater of your family. HelloFresh recipes include pre-portioned ingredients, by the way, which is less prep work for you and less food wasted. And really, I've mentioned it on my live stream before, meal kits like HelloFresh 100% did boost my confidence at cooking meals at home. It can do the same for you, and I highly recommend it. Don't wait, make your weeknight meal prep all the more easier with HelloFresh. Use my link in the video description or go to hellofresh.com and use code POGFalloutNOV70 for a wild 70% off and free shipping on your first box. All right, back to the content. Here's a brief recap of the situation if you've been off playing God of War or doing literally anything else constructive during our current content drought. Not too long ago, Destiny 2 underwent maintenance for a routine balance patch. The main appeal of the patch, to me anyway, was to nerf linear fusion rifles in PvP, specifically Arbalest and Lorenz Driver. The nerf went down, people like me took time to fiddle with and better understand the changes, and people went back to the grind. Until somebody noticed and shared a clip on Twitter of Telesto acting odd. Rather than shooting like normal, the bolts were gently floating up into the sky. At first, this was written off as just another extremely weird Telesto bug. However, certain community folk like Paul Tassi were convinced that this was part of a rumored upcoming community event or puzzle. Lord knows we haven't had one of those in a really long time, so it seemed at the very least likely. Tassi made a few articles and videos on the situation, while other content creators like ASTRO started testing out community theories to see if they could figure out details of the puzzle. Many theories revolved around the idea that the bolt patterns were somehow a visual key, many people claiming that each shot was actually a constellation and that was some kind of hint to the next step in the quest. I'm gonna be honest, some people really went down the rabbit hole on this one. Jesus Christ. Bungie, if you're watching right now, this is how badly people want secret missions in the game. Destiny the game's Twitter account announced it had been taken over by Telesto and started posting weird ramblings. Around that point, we were treated with yet another new mode of Telesto Fire, where rather than gently float up to heaven, the bolts would deal damage immediately on impact. Not only that, but they would kinda explode and bounce around like a scatter grenade while detonating. More on that a bit later. With the new alternate fire mode and the cryptic tweets, the hype levels were really starting to rise. People were trying to analyze the text in the tweets to look for clues. However, right as the community hype was starting to whip up into a frenzy, the hammer got dropped. Bungie flat out confirmed on Twitter, no puzzles, nothing hidden, nothing to look for, just memes. A silly little meme message when you logged into D2, a spew of random insanity on Twitter, and an in-game code for a brand new Telesto emblem, which you can equip right now if you want. Kinda funny, when Bungie originally dropped the emblem code in-game, they actually dropped the wrong code, meaning when people logged on to Bungie.net to try and redeem it, they got hit with an error message. Lol. All good though, the correct code should be up right now. Anyway, just a fun, silly little meme. Hard to imagine people might get mad, yeah? Well, some people weren't happy. A fair amount of players took to social media to voice their lack of enthusiasm for said event. It's kinda impossible to try and accurately represent everyone's feelings on said event, but most of what I saw boiled down to some form of, we haven't had a big fun secret mission in forever, we really thought this was it, and it turned out we were just getting blue-balled by Bungie for an emblem and a shirt. And I sorta get that frustration. Big fun secret community events where we have to come together as a large collective and figure something out together, or just experiencing a random new mission at a clear blue sky, always a ton of fun. I have extremely fond memories of when the Whisper of the Worm mission dropped into D2 out of left field. Feel like we haven't had one of those in a long while, so it doesn't really shock me that some folks thought this might be a long overdue hidden mission or event or whatever. I'll admit, kinda puts Bungie into a fairly unwinnable situation, because in theory, if they didn't give us the fun little Telesto spiel, then we'd all just be quietly sitting around twiddling our thumbs doing jack until season 19, wondering why they don't bother to give us anything fun to do during content downtime. Or they give us something they genuinely thought would be a fun little meme to chuckle about while we wait for new content, and people would then complain that the thing we got was just a meme and not a big hidden mission like they really wanted. Again, kind of lose-lose situation for Bungie, which admittedly is a shame. Before I give my personal take, I want to go back to the second Telesto fire mode for just a quick minute. As mentioned, Telesto went from shoot bolts up into the air mode to weird bouncy detonation mode. That second firing mode really changed the usability of the weapon in-game. You see, for the longest time, Telesto's Achilles heel has been the fact that it has a delayed detonation, essentially giving your enemies in PvP plenty of time to beat your ass like a drum while you wait for the barbs to detonate on their body and inflict damage, extending your overall time to kill. Well, the latest upgraded fire mode for the memes, as I told you, gave Telesto the ability to do instant damage when the bolts connect. Combine that with the fact that the gun has no fall-off damage by design, and you get this. What you're looking at was the wildly unholy Trials weapon data usage from this past weekend taken at around Sunday evening, meaning not only did meme Telesto rocket to the top of the most used weapon chart with over 1.1 million kills, there was still a full day left to go when this picture was taken. The next option, Drang, barely holding a candle out there with almost 250,000 kills overall. Now, here's where I'd like to share my personal thoughts on the situation. It's completely okay if you don't agree with them, think they're stupid, whatever, it's just my initial reaction. Bungie wants to have a little fun while we wait for the new season and lean into a meme. And okay, sure, I get that. I do kind of think that the Telesto break game joke may be beating a dead horse at this point, just a tiny bit. But still, I can appreciate Bungie wanting to have a little fun with the community on a long-running, fairly well-known joke. It does suck that our own community expectations get our hopes up fairly often these days. I really do wish that we'd get some new hidden mission into the game, by the way. Apparently a really tall order though, according to a recent AMA with Bungie on Reddit, although most people who ended up retweeting that story were doing so fairly out of context. Bungie never said that they're 100% not doing any more secret things, in case you had seen that somewhere. Anyway, here's my personal beef with the situation. I don't know if it's something you'll be able to relate to or not. For as long as I can remember, D2 PvP has been riddled with higher and higher linear fusion rifle usage. As I mentioned in another video, the usage rates were going through the roof in Trials, and me and many other people found linear fusion rifles very annoying and difficult to fight. But finally, a light at the end of the tunnel. Bungie's not only nerfing LFRs, but they've also pushed the date up from Season 19 to Season 18. Beautiful. They patch LFRs, and I, shockingly, couldn't wait to go into Trials and experience a non-annoying meta filled with 1 or 2 guns running wild. And of course, that's the week that Bungie decides to inject Telesto with steroids. Icing on the cake, the community voted for Cauldron, I repeat, Cauldron, for the Trials map. That part ain't really Bungie's fault. Maybe like 20% Bungie's fault. And again, Bungie, if you're watching, I love you, but stop letting the community vote on the Trials map already. I know you're trying to do us a favor, but I guarantee you that 50% of the people who voted for Cauldron, if not more, had no intention of playing Trials and did it because that map is universally complained about and hated. Or keep letting us vote, but for the love of God, better maps. Anyway, yeah, holy crap, man, I was really looking forward to the new Trials meta not being dominated by one very annoying gun, and the timing on the meme event couldn't have been any worse for me. Granted, yeah, just 1 week of memes ain't that bad. That is, provided the Telesto shenanigans only go for 1 week and then go back to normal. Edit. Literally, while putting together this video, Destiny's Twitter account has officially confirmed that the weapon is now back to normal and no longer god tier. Huge relief. You know, the more I dwell on it, I really think I probably would have responded to this whole meme event more positively if it maybe hadn't affected the meta so directly. I mean, if they made it so Telesto made a fun, weird noise and popped confetti or a light show out of the enemy player's body when you shot and killed them in PvP or something, that I could get behind. The emblem, of course. The shirt, maybe. But the way the gun came in so hot, and not to mention we had pretty much no idea how long it would be a thing for until late on Monday. To me, I can't help but have the mental comparison of the community are homeowners who call the exterminator complaining about mice, aka Arby and Lawrence Driver. Bungie the exterminator comes by after many phone calls, finally catches the mice. We're about to celebrate that there's no more mice, and while on the way out, The exterminator throws a coked up raccoon into the living room and slams the door. Admittedly, maybe a dumb comparison. I don't want to be the guy that discourages Bungie from experimenting with more zany, out of left field memes. I definitely do feel a little bad that Bungie tried to give us some throwaway fun, and most people kind of raged with why no secret mission. And even though some people expressed their displeasure with all the tact and grace of a sleep-deprived hyena, I do agree that goddamn, it's been way too long since the last secret mission. I know data mining is now a forever problem woven into the fabric of D2, but still, fun community missions and events are incredibly enjoyable to me, and a ton of other people kind of wish that at some point during Lightfall we managed to somehow get another one. Do me a favor, let me know how you felt about this weird little event thing in D2. Fun? Who cares? Badly timed? Stop stalling and make SRL already? Sound off, I would love to hear from you. While you're down in the comments section, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're looking for fun videos to watch, might I recommend either the all-new 50 Games of Rift or 10 minutes of me getting my ass kicked. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on stream.